Here are the 10 most publicly discussed names on Epstein's list, and you won't believe why. First up, Prince Andrew, Duke of York. Arguably the most high-profile case. Virginia Giuffre alleged in a sworn deposition that she was mixed up with him when she was 17. Andrew denied it, but he eventually settled a civil lawsuit with Giuffre in 2022, and it was for an undisclosed amount without admitting liability. And his friendship with Epstein is extensively documented. Next, Bill Clinton. A shock to some, maybe not so much for others, but his name appears in flight logs on Epstein's private plane multiple times. Trips to Africa for Clinton Foundation work were cited as context. But here's the thing, he is denied ever visiting the island, and no accusers have named him in sworn testimony as being present during any alleged crimes. Then we have a big one, the Don. And yes, the Prez was certainly a known social acquaintance of Epstein's back in the 1990s. Both lived in New York, so it's no surprise his name appeared in the Black Book. But to be clear, he was never placed on the island in any flight log or sworn testimony. And he has even gone as far as to call Epstein a sleazebag, and said they had a falling out later. So you can decide for yourself. Let me know what you think in the comments. Up next is Alan Dershowitz, a strange one, because the Harvard law professor and Epstein defense attorney was accused by Virginia Giuffre in a sworn deposition of misconduct. Dershowitz has vehemently denied all allegations and even filed countersuits, and he did appear in flight logs, but a federal judge later struck Giuffre's allegations against him from the public record under disputed circumstances. Hot on his heels, we have Ghislaine Maxwell. Not a visitor, she lived there. She was Epstein's girlfriend, then his associate, then his alleged co-conspirator. And in 2021, a federal jury convicted her, and she is currently in prison, sentenced 20 years. But she is the only person who has ever been convicted of a crime directly connected to what happened on that island. Just her. And she is the most legally established figure in the entire case. Right behind her, we have two-time Academy Award winner Kevin Spacey, who appeared in flight logs and was even photographed with Epstein. But Spacey has never been charged with anything related to Epstein or the island. He has faced other allegations though, but those are separate, so he has not been charged in connection with anything related to Jeffrey or Little St. James Island, but his name is still in the flight logs. Continuing down the line, we have none other than Chris Tucker. The once popular Rush Hour and Friday actor also appeared in flight logs alongside Bill Clinton on trips to Africa. But before you say WTF, no allegations of wrongdoing have ever been made against him, because he appears to have been part of Clinton's philanthropic travel. Taking the baton, we now have Jean-Luc Brunel, and this is an interesting one, because the French modeling agent was a close Epstein associate, but multiple women have alleged he was directly involved in recruiting and injuring people. So he was arrested in France in 2020 on related charges, and mysteriously passed away in custody in 2022 before trial. Stepping into the spotlight next is Glenn Dubin, and the hedge fund manager and his wife Eva were both named in depositions. Giuffre alleged misconduct involving Dubin in sworn testimony, but Dubin has denied all allegations, so no criminal charges have been filed against him. And rounding it out, we have Lawrence Visosky, Jeffrey's longtime private pilot. Lawrence Larry Paul Visosky Jr., sometimes mistakenly referenced as Visconti, was the primary government witness in the trial of Ghislaine Maxwell, having flown Epstein's private jets for roughly 1,000 trips between 1991 and 2019. Hired in 1991 in Ohio, Visosky piloted Epstein and Maxwell across the globe to private properties in New York, New Mexico, Florida, Paris, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Larry described Ghislaine Maxwell as the number 2 in Epstein's operation, calling them partners in crime. But here's where it gets weird, because he testified that he never personally witnessed activity on the planes, including the aircraft dubbed the Lolita Express. And it gets worse, because he also said he never saw passengers who appeared to be under the age of 20. Bottom line, hundreds of names in Epstein-related court documents were initially sealed. The only person convicted of crimes directly connected to Epstein's operation is Ghislaine Maxwell. But when Epstein-related court documents started being unsealed in 2024, many names were still blacked out as John Doe, because individuals petitioned courts to keep their identities private. So these individuals literally went to court specifically to keep their names hidden. Some succeeded, and the unsealing process is still ongoing. We do not know all the names yet, but here's what we do know. One person was convicted, Ghislaine Maxwell. Epstein died before his trial. Every other name on this list, flight logs, depositions, black books, photographs, none of it resulted in a single criminal conviction. The list exists, the records exist, the convictions do not. And